The judge is helping K-Flock get released from jail, as K-Flock would get ready for his release date by sharing this message from his jail cell.
I know what's going on, man. Flock, I know something, man. Like, please me to the guys, man. And yo, like, I'll be back real soon. Shout out to my fans and my supporters, man. I love all y'all, man. For all the youth out there, violence, man. For me, and do what y'all supposed to do, man. For me, get through life correctly, bro. Like,
get money.
You know, man, I'll see you real soon.
As with K-Flock announcing he's coming home, his best friend B-Love would reveal why, explaining that there's a lot of things that we do not know about his court case.
Okay, but so I saw some fans who were off at both me and Akademiks after K-Flock got locked up because, well, just because I guess, like, you know, in our tone when we talked about it, you know, it might have seemed like we were being a little too presumptuous. But is that weird for you? Because I'm sure you see people all the way from rappers to whoever acting like, you know, your boy is just done and he's cooked in this situation.
I ain't gonna lie, people, especially people that don't even be knowing, like, y'all don't even know what's going on, bro.
Yeah. To understand when his release date is, I first need to explain the new court files. It goes and reads that on December 23rd, 2021, New York rapper K-Flock, otherwise known as Kevin Perez, was involved in a situation leading to the passing of a man named Oscar Hernandez. On the 23rd of December, Flock was walking down the street in New York City. K-Flock was wearing a complete designer outfit from a blue coat as well as designer skinny jeans, as well as wearing a shiesty mask. The rapper is seen walking down the street with what is known to be his sister and her friend, as while the three were walking past the barbershop, K-Flock locked eyes with a man named Oscar Hernandez on the inside. The two had a stare off for roughly 5 seconds until Oscar Hernandez would be seen quickly running out of the barbershop and then screaming at K-Flock, asking what is he looking at. A small argument would then brew up between the two in the middle of the street. Oscar Hernandez would make a slight motion to look like he's grabbing a firearm from out of his waistband. However, he would ultimately just turn his back to K-Flock. While making his turn, K-Flock would then be seen pulling his firearm from out of his waistband and using it towards Hernandez. Hernandez would try making a run back to the barbershop. However, K-Flock would connect with his firearm, causing Hernandez to fall to the ground, with nearby witnesses pulling out their cell phones and calling 911. With Hernandez now onto the ground, K-Flock would begin sprinting down the street, hitting an alleyway before getting into a getaway vehicle. All that was left at the scene was shell casings as well as Hernandez's slides, as Oscar would sadly pass at the local NYC hospital. Hernandez's parents would speak about the passing the following day, believing that this was a case of mistaken identity, as Oscar Hernandez was a delivery man for Uber Eats and was described as a hard worker. However, the feds believed that Oscar was a part of a street team. Due to K-Flock's shiesty mask, the feds couldn't originally tell who this was. The NYPD would then tweet this photo of the main suspect, asking for help from the public. However, fans would immediately begin tweeting that it was K-Flock, as the designer outfit he was wearing, Flock actually flexed on his Instagram live just a few hours before the crime occurred. With thousands of people practically snitching on K-Flock on Twitter, the NYPD would then put out a warrant for Flock's arrest. Flock would then quickly hire the best lawyer in the game and then turn himself into the NYPD, leaving his lawyer to put out this statement. Yesterday, I accompanied Kevin as he self-surrendered to detectives in the 30th precinct. Arrangements were made immediately with NYPD once I learned that he was wanted. As to the charges against him, we have begun our own investigation into these allegations, as within only 2 weeks, K-Flock's lawyers had enough evidence to prove that this was self-defense on K-Flock's part, as he would even reveal this during an interview.
When the guy hits the ground and is found, he's got a loaded that was in his pocket that his hand was on at the time. You know, we consider that to be self-defense.
So he did take him in self-defense.
That's what the allegation is. You know, I don't want to talk too much about the details of the case, but the government claims that he pulled the... But at the same time, the person that was around had his hand on a illegal loaded, apparently about Kevin.
Okay. So without saying too much, you're arguing obviously self-defense. That's the crux.
You know, that could be one of the arguments, self-defense. And I would say to the public, you know, somebody's walking up to you with a loaded, it's pretty clear is going to use it, with a criminal record a mile long. Do you want to get or do you not want to?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't hesitate to pull the...
After K-Flock's lawyer gave out his statements believing it was self-defense, the NYPD would then put out their counter-statement. The NYPD believed this incident was street-related based on K-Flock's documented affiliation with the Bronx-based Third Side Street team. It was documented that K-Flock was heavily involved in street-related acts within his time in the free world in New York City. Also being a big-name figure, he has lots of control on situations and was a main target when his ops would retaliate, as they believe that Oscar Hernandez was trying to retaliate on K-Flock. However, K-Flock was able to pull his firearm out first. As due to those reasons, K-Flock and his lawyers are convinced and are making the claim the situation was an act of self-defense, as rappers would then even start reacting to the case.
What's it like for you watching the K-Flock thing happen? That's crazy. Next big artist coming out of New York.
I love Flock, so I like that. I like that. That's my guy.
Okay.
But you know, I'm wishing him the best right now, you know what I'm saying? And you know, for the alleged charges they pushing on him, you know what I'm saying? I'm wishing his family the best. I'm wishing the whole team the best and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I hope he beat them alleged charges, you know what I'm saying? Because he got a lot of future brightness. He got, and I hope, you know what I'm saying? Everything just wake all the young kids up, like how fat it just,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
That would be a sad story if that's the end of the.
No, we ain't gonna think like that, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta stay positive.
Then just 1 week later, after K-Flock's lawyers provide all of the evidence proving this was self-defense, he would then have his name slammed into a 30-page indictment in New York City for RICO charges, which will ultimately leave K-Flock inside of jail for the time being. Just like rap OG Boosie said about YNW Melly, when the feds want you, they will do anything to get you. As with them releasing the indictment for RICO charges, fans believe this is just the police's way of making sure K-Flock never comes out of jail again.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted him bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
Further proving that this shows how corrupt the New York City police is, K-Flock's lawyer would then release a new statement where he would literally say he is not surprised. It goes and reads, "We're not surprised by the federal charges as we have been defending Kevin's state charges for over a year now. Considering the incident was a clear act of self-defense, it wasn't a particularly strong charge. That it is now being used as a basis for a possible penalty charge is extraordinary. On video, it is crystal clear that Kevin was about to be affected after attempting to walk away from the other person. Only then did Kevin use an item to defend himself from another armed team member who was about to pull out his item from his pocket. With the entire situation looking very suspicious, hip-hop creators would begin reacting, K-Flock just caught a RICO, it's really over. To even DJ Akademiks saying, feds just unsealed an indictment on K-Flock for a RICO charge. The mandatory minimum if he doesn't beat those charges or snitch is life inside a prison. However, K-Flock's recent jail phone call would suggest there is a high chance of him receiving a bond shortly.